Tell someone else, you are going through what you're going through for a reason. When my mother took seed of me, she bled for 4 months, and the doctor said, Florence, you are not going to make it. You are anemic. I was told that she used to lie in the pool of blood. And she became so weak and anemic that she couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. And the doctor said, you can't carry this pregnancy. So they performed a D&C on my mother in those days. Months after the D&C, the stomach kept growing, and they took her back to theater, and they found out that apparently we were twins, and that my twin was taken away, and I survived the D&C. And from the time I was born, all hell broke loose. I wouldn't go to school. I was a problem for my mom. I was a thorn in her flesh. I would steal my mother's jewelry and everything and sell it for dope, marijuana in those days. They would send me to school and I won't go to school. When I go to school, I'll fight the teacher. I will beat somebody. It was always trouble, and I'll be expelled from school, and my mother will always be crying and say, what is wrong with you, son? What have I done? He said, what is it that I've done? How come you don't feel my pain? What is wrong with you? And I couldn't help her because something was on my case. I was under an influence of a buffeting spirit that wanted me destroyed. At the age of 15, my mother couldn't take it anymore, and for the first time, I was introduced to my dad at the age of 15. I never knew him until 15 years. If you're a mother here and you have some difficult sons and difficult daughters, I'll tell you why. They are the chosen ones, and the ones that have been called and promised carry promise among those kids. From my birth to everything till I came to the knowledge of the Son of God has been a fight. And I remember before I got saved, the year before I got saved, I was seriously facing a lot of nightmare, couldn't sleep in the night, had insomnia, would be visited by demon spirit that would come and oppress me in my sleep. And so I stayed all night in the discos and at the nightclubs and slept during the day because I couldn't sleep in the night. And when I got saved, I understood that I was dealing with the terror by night. There was something that terrified me in the night and would not let me sleep. I know some of you have never experienced that. But listen, the fact that you are born again don't mean the devil is going to let you loose. From the day you got born again, you became a believer, you became a target for the enemy. Whether you believe it or not, you are at war. And you better realize that you are at war, and the enemy is not going to leave you alone just because you are saved and you are born again and you are Holy Ghost filled. And I remember that one day I began to hear voices. The doctors call it hallucination. I began to hear these voices, and one of the voices commanded me to light a candle, and I couldn't resist the strength and the power of the voice. So I lighted the candle, and the voice said, place your right palm on the flame. And I did, and I couldn't take my hands off the flame, and I saw my hands was literally burning, and my lips were sealed. I couldn't help myself until the candle was melted, and I lost 3 of my fingers with that fire. I was admitted at the hospital for 4 months, went through all kinds of surgery, and in the night I would scream and would be running at the hospital, and they have to arrest me, put me in chains and inject me. And I was tormented, I was buffeted by an evil spirit, and I had no idea of why I was going through what I was going through. Tell somebody you are where you are for a reason. Tell somebody else you are going through what you're going through for a reason, Until one day Jesus appeared to me on the bed of affliction and he said, I am Yeshua HaMashiach. And for this purpose you were born. That you were born to proclaim my word to the nations of the world. And I had an encounter with the Son of God, and from that day my life turned around and I was never the same again.